Hello YouTube, welcome back to another game of Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void. This is going to be PtitDrogo versus Liquid TLO. So on the top right hand side here we've got PtitDrogo, who is spawning as the blue Protoss. Now by the way, scores are going to be displayed at about 1 minute, so if you haven't seen the previous, click on the links below. They will bring you to the previous games before you get any spoilers. So PtitDrogo as the blue Protoss, Team mYinsanity, and he is from France. His opponent is going to be Liquid TLO, who's from Team Liquid, and he is from Germany. So these guys are on game number 4, so of course this means that we've got somebody on 2 or 3. Yeah, that makes no sense. There could be 3 different variations, so it has to be 2 to 1. But whose score is it right now? It's going to be quite interesting to find out. And of course we've had some quite interesting games, some nice aggression from both players. And of course we had a very early not end game, but high tech coming out of PtitDrogo in one of these games as well. So score currently at Liquid TLO at 1, PtitDrogo at 2. So he is winning. It's going to be pretty much about this game. If PtitDrogo wins this one, it means that he will be moving on to the next round, which is going to be the semi-finals. If he doesn't win, then TLO is going to have one more chance at defeating him and moving on to the semi-finals. So currently on the quarterfinals, of course. And looks like Cybernet has scored after 2 gateways. And TLO has opted to get himself a hatchery before spawning pool. He's definitely worried about that economy, wants to establish it as soon as possible. And get that stuff working. Now, is this going to spot it? Oh, it just spotted, but the question is, did he see it? I assume that he would have seen it at this point. Well, I suppose this Overlord has already entered the base, so he definitely knows that this is exactly where he is. There's pretty much no question about that. So what is he going to see here? Absolutely nothing, just 1 gas, one spawning pool, which is quite normal, I suppose. And the second base is complete, so gonna start saturating that out. Doesn't look like he's gotten himself any Zerglings at the very beginning, which is something that you see quite often, but at the same time, not getting Zerglings out versus PtitDrogo, who is quite fond of his Stargate openings, which is exactly what he's doing, could turn out quite nasty for him. So one Stargate probably going to bring an Oracle out of that. But of course we'll see how that plays out. Looks like he's building himself the pylon here, which of course is just there to prevent against any sort of air units, which are on the way for him. Not for TLO. And the Nexus coming down as well. So Stargate into second Nexus. And what is he going to bring out of this? An Oracle it is. 2 depths moving on up. How much is he going to... Oh, sorry, they're actually going back. So obviously he does not want to get caught out here. Looks like we've got 1 Spore Crawler on the way. Second one not quite yet. This Overlord, of course, spotting pretty much everything. Zerglings are coming in here. Are they going to get the nice round here? 1 adept. Straight away, getting the beautiful surrounders. No escape for that one. But how many Zerglings has he lost for that? He's lost about 4, I believe. Which, to be honest, in my opinion, still worthy exchange. The second Oracle is going to get spotted pretty much immediately. What is this one doing here? Starting to take out a few workers. Now there is no Spore Crawler just yet, so only Queens to defend at this particular point. Taking on 5 workers already. That is quite a nice number. It's a good start. So doing the same thing, he's getting himself burrow quite early in these games, and it's actually something that he's done, I believe, in all 3 games previously, if I'm not mistaken. Just basically wants to deny those expansions. Doesn't want PtitDrogo to catch up on the amount of bases. And on this side, unfortunately, this Oracle not getting as much damage done as he'd like. Only 3 workers. But of course, 8 workers in total so far. This means that TLO is behind. So doing quite well for himself. He's gotten a bigger army, bigger worker supply. Let's see, this Zergling being able to spot pretty much everything now. Zergling, of course, fully 100% invisible. And that is a total of 7 adepts. And now these adepts doing a bit more damage here. How much kills have they got at this point? Looks like they got 5 on this one and 10 on the other one. So they've already paid for themselves at this point. That's 12 workers. Queen is in position. Oh, these banelings! They're not actually going to get any use because the adepts are just going to move straight over them with Psionic Transfer and actually managing to cancel that off. So these banelings going to be, of course, very useful if he manages to connect. But is he going to connect? Zergling's getting this around, managing to get a few of those hits off, and that is quite some huge damage done onto those adepts. He's probably going to lose them all out unless this one adept escapes. Is he going to escape? Yes, he is. Just about escapes with his life. Losing that adept now. Zergling's running in here. TLO with his Zerglings. 2 pylons and 2 probes getting taken out here for free. And are they going to be able to break in here? There's only a Stalker and 2 adepts in the back. The Stalker absorbing as much damage as possible because of course the adepts do more damage to Zerglings. Destroying one building there, and the Zerglings are free to roam inside of this base now. How many workers are he going to get taken out before he loses all of those units? Running straight into the base. They're so fast, of course, that they can just completely run straight away from the adepts and the surround onto the Zerglings, burrowing them down. They try to save them, but of course they're revealed from the Oracle, not requiring an observer. And that was quite nice, I have to say. You know, this Zergling is doing so well right now to continuously have vision of what's going on here. This is some good play from TLO, I have to say. And even denying the base here for just a few moments. Not a huge amount, but you know, every bit counts. Now TLO bringing up a Spire at this point. Level 2 attack also on the way for ground units. So he's interested in a bit of upgrades. He's interested in the air units. Trying to get a bit of that air superiority. Now at the moment, PtitDrogo has almost no anti-air. All he's got really is overcharges, and he doesn't even have a Phoenix on the map, so definitely not a good position for him if TLO manages to sneak out a bunch of Mutalisks. And he might as well do that. I mean, he's gotten himself quite a lot of minerals. He's stacking up the gas very quickly as well. And where are those drones being lost? Oh, there they are. It's actually the Oracles doing this. So 12 damage, or 12 workers have been taken out. Let's have a quick look at the total count here. So 2 on this one and 10 on that one. Quite good, I have to say. Missed a bit of that, but it's hard to see units on such a small map. Might need to figure out how to increase that in size, because it is possible, just not quite sure how. Putting down a safe cannon here. I always find it fascinating how if a Zergling came by here right now, they can't actually attack the cannon from there. There's so much free space. If you think about it, that is so much. You can get a big surround right there, but because there's a building in the way, you cannot do it. Now, Oracles are in place here. The Mutalisks are going to get revealed right now. The Oracles losing their lives pretty much immediately, and there's so many of them. That is a total of 9 Mutalisks on the field. How much damage is TLO going to be able to get with that? There is a Phoenix on the way, but is it going to be there on time? There is Stalkers being warped in. Losing the Mothership Core. Did bring up another overcharge in that just before he lost it, so that's quite good. And just picking off a few workers there. Now this poor little Archon is going to get taken out here before it finishes off. That's a nice pick off for TLO. He's doing a lot of damage with these, despite the fact that PtitDrogo is trying to do as much as possible to pretty much fight off everything he can here. Mutalisk bunch, are they going to get taken out? Are these Stalkers going to be enough? There's only 2 more Stalkers remaining at this point. Quite a few Mutalisks, and he's just not focusing down the low health ones. And at this point, he probably wants to back off now. There's 4 Stalkers remaining. Not going to be a good position for him to stay in. He's going to probably just let them regenerate a bit of health and then move straight back in do as much damage as possible. Doesn't want to get any downtime with them, especially considering he can kill off free probes if he runs away from these stalkers fast enough. An overcharge going down. And looking at army supply, I mean, there's 36 to 72. It's exactly twice the army supply that TLO has. Or that PtitDrogo has, rather. Another mothership core getting taken out, and I have to say, this game is looking very good for TLO. I honestly, if I had to call it right now, I would say that he's got this, but of course, the air units are not going to finish off the game. He just needs to continuously harass here and then build up a ground army as well. Or of course, if PtitDrogo decides that he's got no chance of surviving against whatever's coming next, he could of course GG out at that point. There's been so many units lost at this point. This one Phoenix been annoying, but you know, one Phoenix against so many Mutalisks would take quite a long time to take them out. And of course he did also lose it, so this is quite crazy here. And yes, great Muta harass here, and yeah, that's quite good, I have to say. Paying off those Mutalisks so well. Let's have a look at the units lost tab at this point. 19 drones, 1 Archon definitely was destroyed with those Mutalisks. There was a bunch of Stalkers, 2 Phoenixes, Oracles got taken out by that. So these Mutalisks paid for themselves like twice over at this point. And what is he going to get done with those? As you can see, this is the army that follows up. When you got such great Mutalisk harass, at that point you've got such a big lead in terms of army and worker supply. And as you can see here, these lurkers in the back, how much damage is going to be done? Is he going to have enough to clean this up? Honestly, it's looking quite good for TLO right now. The lurkers are actually quite difficult to fend off. And here we go. There is a few Phoenixes in the air. Are they going to be able to clean up these air units? Definitely are, but you know, the ground unit army is still favoring TLO right now. And I think he's doing quite good here. He might even run straight in him. I mean, 88 to 17 supply. This is at this point over, and there we go. GLO. It's GGLO right now, finishing off the game with that insane Mutalisk harassment. There was pretty much no way that PtitDrogo could defend off against that at that point. So that's pretty much it. Now the army supply, by the way, I have to go back to this. The army supply here for TLO looks a lot smaller than what it actually is. It does. You can't really see the fact that there's also 6 Hydralisks and 10 Roaches on the way. So TLO pretty much steamrolling it towards the end of that, but that was pretty much that. And that is it for game number 4 from our Zerg versus Protoss game here with TLO and PtitDrogo. Hope you've enjoyed it. Of course, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I will see you guys in the final of the series, which is going to be deciding who goes on to the semi-final of this tournament. I'll see you guys next time. Good luck, have fun, and take care of yourself.